who 13 is. After that show right there, you gotta ask yourself who these people are for real, for real. So I'm just gonna let you guys introduce yourselves.
Daru Jones, drummer.
Hold on. Just let me give a little bit of info. Because you can't just say, I'm Daru Jones and pass the fucking microphone. Okay? Give them a little insight to what makes you fucking brilliant man.
Break it down.
That's what Roby said. Salute to Roby and Tribe.
I love you, baby.
Salute my brother King for putting this together.
Yeah.
My name is Daru Jones. I had the opportunity to play with Slum Village in the Dilla.
Oh shit.
Dilla passed away in 2006, so they wanted to make a transition and do some live stuff, and I got to actually be a part of that band. And I work with a lot of hip hop MCs. Got the pleasure of working with Pharoahe Monch. Got a chance to work with Black Milk. I'm familiar with Black Milk.
Yeah.
So that's how I met Monch when I was playing with Black Milk. We came and performed at Southpaw.
Nice.
It was just like over 10 years ago, and me and Monch became good friends. I had the opportunity to put a band together for Monch, and got a chance to work with Black Moon, a lot of the 90s rappers, and then I graduated from hip hop to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Started working with Jeff from the White Stripes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my latest collaborations, and just do the Googles and they find a couple of them.
Yeah.
But today I'm with 13. Shout out to my brother Pharoahe Monch.
Bless up. Bro, I've never seen a drum set like that in my life. Hell yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to all of this. All right. Marcus, you wanna?
Marcus Machado, guitarist for 13.
Woo!
Thank you. Been playing guitar since 2 years old. Travel the world, work with a lot of people from the Family Stand, Jamie Lydell, Rock, Robert Glasper, Anderson Pat. You know, I'm just a guy with a guitar. My name is Pharoahe Monch. Queens, New York.
In the building. Don't start me.
Organized Confusion.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, started a solo career, and this latest project is a dream come true for me. I've been wanting to do this for years and years and years and years and years. I grew up on all types of music, and you know, my big brother in the basement was rocking that Sabbath and Zeppelin and Hendrix and all of that, so that's where the vibes come from.
Let's go.
13.
Let's go.
Very dope. How did you all meet as far as touring together and doing projects together?
I mean, I met Daru, like you said, years ago, just going to shows and being in Detroit and seeing him rock with Milk and Slum and Qua, and you know, he's that dude. And I met Marcus, you know, I was looking for a guitarist, and the whole world was like, yo, if you get anybody, you gotta get this dude here. He's a prodigy. Like he said, he's been playing since 2 years old, all over New York. Family Stand, I went to see him play, and I got these two together, and I begged them to participate in this venture with me.
Let's go. So Monch, as an observer and a fan and a friend, I've seen you make some of the most amazing transitions in life, period. It's just in life, period. You know what I'm saying? From the weight, the asthma. First of all, let's talk about how in the fuck can you possibly rhyme like that with asthma?
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's a gift and a curse in the sense that once I had it chronically, I knew growing up, looking for, you know, what my career was going to be. I put that right in front and fought it like a demon. It's why I rhyme the way I rhyme, like to battle the lung disease. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to Coltrane hold these long runs. And I'm like, I want to be like that. I want to do those type of runs. And so subconsciously all that is like, fuck you, asthma, fuck you.
And the transition from Organized Confusion to your solo project?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we did 3 albums together, and I just felt like I was going inner and personal, which is why that first joint is called Internal Affairs. And went to Prince and was like, I need to get a lot of shit off my chest, and I feel like I would be pulling you into these thoughts. So he was like, yo man, go do your thing. And yeah, that's why it's called Internal Affairs, because it was like a lot of shit going on.
And you also made a jump, it seems like to me, between that album and the next album. It was definitely a different sonic jump and sonic change and shit. What brought that about?
Well, then the trials and tribulations, the turmoil with the Simon Says sample and the lawsuit and the labels and the courts just fucked me all up. So Desire was the next album.
Ooh! Give it up for the time.
And that album was about perseverance, pushing, and all the support I was getting through those tumultuous times. So I wanted to bring in vocalists and harmonies and harmonics so you could feel the spirit of the soul, and that's why I kind of went from the dark to like kind of more of a soulful vibration.
And it's definitely evident. This music, this latest album, your latest incarnation with the guys, it's a fucking leap. But it's not that unexpected because you've always dabbled a little bit with rock samples and rock shit your whole way going.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a couple of things. It's been on the palette for a long time. I could have just got samples and rhymed and talked about social issues and things of that nature, which is touched on the album. But I wanted to take this leap and do it with a band, not bastardize the temperament of hip hop and or the temperament of rock. You know, I was looking at it like some rock dude coming from that side saying like, I'm gonna do a rap album. And like, ah, shut the fuck up. The same thing going to the other side, yo, I wanna do this rock influence shit. I want it to be taken seriously on that side as well from those cats. So, you know, on the production side, it didn't lack in the sense that we went out and got Knots and Super Ugly and Marco Polo and E. Jones and from Soul Council and all these type of cats, and Lee Stone worked on the project, oversaw, executive produced, and just to keep the temperament. But they trusted me, the great Knots trusted me enough to send me stems on some of the production because he knew that I wanted to.
Crazy.
Right. You know, just to ask him that, I was like, can you send the stems? Because he knew I wanted to implement these guys.
If somebody gives you stems, they're giving you like each individual instrument that's on the song.
Each sound.
So each sound you'll be able to really use their sounds. You know what I'm saying? So most producers are very, very tight-knit. So that's a very
And speaking of production as well, a lot of folks don't know, Pharoahe Monch is an amazing producer. A lot of the stuff, like a lot of those songs that you heard, if I'm not mistaken, you actually
I did a couple of joints on the album, and it's a beautiful blend because Amnesia, Daru and Marcus wrote. We got a couple of joints on there. Yeah. And so, you know, it was a blend of just getting in the studio, coming up with grooves, jamming out, saying was keeping, but still not wanting to be loose, because a lot of times when you rock like that, it can get a little, so that's why we brought in, you know, Marco Polo and those cats just to keep the straight knot.
All right, so this is a nerd question and shit. I mean, you've done a bunch of amazing shit. You know what I'm saying? Where does ghostwriting fit for you? Can you talk about it? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, the one shit I can't talk about is the Puff, the Diddy stuff that I wrote, because I was in Detroit when I was working on it. And I was working on Desire and that shit at the same time. And he was flying me to Miami, and I really took the shit, because I'm a Scorpio, he's a Scorpio.
Right on.
I really took the job to pick his fucking brain and to see what it was like to be a multi-millionaire.
Right on.
So I would literally be in his house like,
We gonna be hella rich.
this is what this shit is like. Oh wow. Puff is a good dude, and what I learned from him is a level of work ethic. He admired mine too, because I just wanted to write the fucking songs and get the fuck back home and work on my own shit and beat. So I was in there grinding, and he was like, yo, you have an ill work ethic. No bullshit. Every night he'd be like, yo, we're going to the club, man. I'm good. Let's get these songs done. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, that's what's up.
Yeah, you know, one thing too, this particular album is a conceptual album to a certain extent because you got the comic book and the animation added to it. What kind of freedom does that give you as an artist to come out, you know, with that style of the image? You know what I mean?
And the complexities of doing all that shit, making it cohesive.
Right. I mean, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. This is rebel shit. It's just some layers there. At the end of the day, it's like, you can't get more evil than the atrocities that's being committed now and that's been committed in the history of this country. You know, so there's no imaging that's darker than that shit. This shit is about, I'm tired of holding hands in kumbaya, and the energy is like, fuck that. Let's give off that same energy that we get. Let's throw this fucking voodoo back at your ass. Let's throw these, well, we're not gonna get into that. But just like the tone and the temperament is, you know, how do we fight back in an aggressive and dark way as well? You know, we'll get to the light as the group continues on, but the record is dark for a reason, for a good reason.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. And so, like, your song structure is bugged out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Daru Jones has some different kind of metronome in his fucking head that nobody else has. Shit. You know, like, talk about your process a little bit, because it's super interesting to me.
I'll just say this, I'll give it to Daru. Like, we wanted to have the ill, long verses on some of the shit and just come with this album with the rawness and just fuck the 16s and all of that shit.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very grateful to work with Monch because he knows a lot of musicians. You know what I'm saying? The Rolodex is full. So to get that opportunity and call, I'm very grateful. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Because he could have called a lot of other names, but appreciate it. But yeah, as artists, sometimes you don't know where we're going to get the inspiration. It may come at 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That's how Monch was. If he got inspired, he was calling me like, yo, can you get in the studio? I just want you to put a symbol down. That's what he was doing. He was randomly sending me stuff. Pause. But what was one of the 666.
Yeah.
That was one of the stamps that he sent me. He was like, yo, I want to do this Black Sabbath cover. And it was crazy. Because when I heard the stems, I thought it was a sample. He wanted me to play the drums like the record, and I was like, man, you know, we thought it was a sample, but it was Marcus. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the process is just, you just gotta be ready. Whenever Monch you know, when you get that ideal, he may get it at 4 a.m. He's gonna call you. And he say, yo, can you get to the studio? I need you to put this down. And, you know, luckily, some stuff we did together in the studio, like Amnesia. That's one of the records where we did in the studio together.
666. Racist. It's like 80 versions.
Yeah, so, you know what's crazy, y'all? We got alternate versions of this that you ain't heard.
Really?
So the record that
I need to let some of that shit go.
Do it.
Yes.
So one last question too, because this is always a question about you, Daru. Your drum setup, how you set up your drums.
Yeah.
Is it a function of how it sounds or how it feels to play?
I actually think something's wrong with you.
Shit, I know you, there it is.
On a serious note, you know, in this industry, it's all about having an identity. Image is everything, right? Michael Jackson wore the glasses, he wore the gloves, right? We didn't understand that at the time. Prince wore the stilettos, right? Did y'all understand that? Daru Jones played with the Eagles. You understand that? So really, it was just about having my own identity. No type of scientific reason. I just wanted to look different. And I had to figure out how to play it. You know what I'm saying? I had to grow into it because I went from playing a 5-piece kit, you know, it was kind of standard, and I was used to sitting low and going high. Now I'm sitting high and going low. And I had to figure it out. I had to learn how to play it. And it actually changed my vocabulary. I had to figure out, so when I do that fill, I gotta make it count. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so, you know, it was just to have an identity. And, you know, that's pretty much the whole flow of it. And I'm still learning how to play it. I think I got some there.
But just to add on what Daru was saying, the process for the album, it was crazy from the guitar aspect because, you know, with the legends right here, you know what I mean? So when he's like, I want you to take over, I want to stick these bars here, and then I want you to take it out, you know, it's a high level to take it.
Be talking with that
Yeah,
shit.
so it wasn't like, you know, I'm on the rap and then you just do a little solo at the end and music fades out. It's kind of like I'm answering to what he's saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was a really, really cool concept to do that. Thank you, Monch. Thank you for all of that. And yeah, like 666, you know, of course that song's Hand of Doom, Black Sabbath. And for us to get, you know, cool story about that was we ended up going in the studio and using all the original instruments that they recorded on that album. So I ended up using like the original bass, the original guitars, and Ozzy, they said, yeah, you sampling.
Damn.
That's
what
sampling. That's spooky. That's dumb.
It's an interpolation, but we still had to get clearance on it.
Facts.
So we sent the song in to them to get the clearance, and two of the band members wrote back and said, we love the song, but, you know, if you could just remove the sample. We were like, there's no sample! But we actually had to send them the stems.
That's a really big compliment.
Going back to stems. We had to send them the stems to each and show them that there's no sample in there. So that was one of the huge. When I got that, they were like, "Yo, this shit sounds amazing." And the lyrics is, you know, out there and a little over the top. So on the album we gave them the grace.
You didn't give them the. Yeah.
I want to add to, not to cut you off. There's another record, that Amnesia record. Y'all hear Th1rt3en Bone Man?
Yeah.
He was originally on that record.
Oh wow.
And it was a whole different chord structure. But what happened to that much?
That did get clear.
So we had to change, you know, we had the doctrine up, and then we got this guy he can not only sing, he can not only rap, but he can sing.
Facts.
Thank you. Yeah, Ragged Bone. Shout out to Ragged Bone. The original version of the song is amazing, but it had a chord progression from an artist. I'm not gonna say. We tried to clear it, and Paul McCartney said, "Suck my balls."
So yo, one other question, and then we're gonna take like maybe 2 questions from the audience. Then we're gonna get into this party, all right? So you are known. This is you have animation on this particular album. It's very vivid in the visuals. You are known as an aficionado of the superhero structure as well as, you know, comic books. So I want to ask you this question. If you were a superhero, besides being one of the dopest lyricists doing the damn thing,
He's already a superhero.
if you ever was a superhero, what power would you have?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm all about time, so it's just manipulation of time. I never saw time in the construct that it was told us, especially getting into hip hop. In the beginning, we was digging through records and listening to James, and I'm like, this shit is still crazy now, 20 years later. And then, you know, when we were coming through the culture, they were already squeezing us down, like, you only can do this for this amount of time, or for one summer. And I'm like, what? So just the manipulation of time, and I never felt squoze into the time structure that the corporations gave hip hop or music in general time. It's like endless and limitless, so time.
Good answer. Please make some noise for the group. Jerome.